Hey, this is the Big Hardcore Gamer back for another video. Now, PlayStation just did one of the best state of plays I've seen during this current generation, showing banger after banger after banger. This was basically a PlayStation showcase disguised as a state of play. We got updates on games releasing soon, gameplay trailers for games previously announced, and a lot of new announcements that I just didn't see coming. So while I'm still hyped about how the show went down, I thought I'd put together a list of my top 10 games that I'm most interested in from the show. Please watch until the end and remember to like the video. Right, let's get into it. At number 10 is the God of War trilogy remake. Now, my first PlayStation was the PS4, so the first God of War game I played was the reboot in 2018. I have not played the original Greek trilogy, so I've been open that they do at least a remaster. They went a step further and are giving us a remake of all three games, so this will definitely be a day one for me whenever it releases. The only reason why it's at number 10 is because it's still in early development and we didn't get to see any gameplay or get a release date, but it is definitely going to be a day one. At number 9 is Star Wars Galactic Racer. Now, I've never been a hardcore Star Wars fan, but I do love some of their games. I love the Jedi Fallen Order and Survivor games, but I've never really been a big racing fan unless it's, something arcadey with some kind of story. Now, when I saw the trailer for Galactic Racer, that's when I actually realized that it does have a story mode, and it actually looks pretty interesting. So it has a story, as destruction and ice speed arcadey racing. So it's definitely piqued my interest. So I'm going to be keeping an eye on this one, and we'll probably get it when it's released. At number 8 is Marathon. Now, this is a game that I was mildly interested in, but every time they've shown a new trailer for it, I get more and more interested. I haven't been able to get into an extraction shooter. I mean, I'm not including Helldivers 2 on that one. I mean, like a proper extraction shooter. I tried with Arc Raiders, but couldn't really get into it. But this being a first-person shooter with great-looking gunplay definitely has me a bit more interested. I'll be playing the server slam at the end of the month. If I'd like it, I'll be getting the game day one. I might even stream it after I've had a couple of days of practice, if I enjoy it. So we'll see. At number 7 is Metal Gear Solid Master Collection 2, or more specifically Metal Gear Solid 4. The only Metal Gear Solid I've played is 5, which I still need to finish, but none of the originals. I remember seeing MGS4 when it released on PS3 back in the day, and I wanted to play it, but I didn't have a PS3. So I'm definitely considering picking this up when it's released. But I do still need to play Snake Eater remake that released last year first, so we'll see. At number 6 is Castlevania Belmont's Curse. Now, I've never played a Castlevania game, but because I've been getting more and more into Metroidvanias with games like Ori and Prince of Persia, The Lost Crown, I've been wanting to get into the series. The gameplay that they showed in the trailer looks amazing. Fluid combat and traversal, music and art style. Castlevania, this Castlevania game really does actually remind me of Prince of Persia, The Lost Crown, like that kind of gameplay. So I definitely want to check it out when it releases. At number 5 is Project Windless, which I know won't be the final title for the game. This is the game that's based on the novel The Bird That Drinks Tears, and looks like God of War, but you're playing as a chicken. So Kentucky Fried Kratos, or Black Myth Chicken, or Cock of War. Whatever you want to call it. The combat looks fluid and brutal, and has some large-scale battles with lots of enemies on screen for you to fight through. I need this game ASAP. At number 4 is Beast of Reincarnation. Now, this is the second time I've seen this game this year, and the combat really has me interested. It looks fluid, and they showed off the parrying, which also empowers a dog to launch special attacks through the bonding mechanic. In a year with a lot of action RPGs, this definitely stands out as being one of the more unique games and is also looking like a day one. At number 3 is Control Resonant, which we actually got a gameplay trailer for. Now, I love the first game and I'm actually streaming the Ultimate Edition on my channel at the moment to give myself a refresher of what happened and also to play through the DLC, which I didn't get to play. It adds a good combination of great gunplay with the shapeshifting service weapon and being able to use Jesse's abilities in combat, things like being able to fly and launch objects at the hiss. When I saw that we'll be playing as a brother in the sequel, I was hyped, but at the same time I was wondering how good the combat would be since it's a melee focused game. Well, the gameplay looks great. We got to see some of the weapon forms that he's using, like he's got twin blades, so he can actually morph it into like a sledgehammer as well. Got to see some of his powers, like being able to alter gravity, fast and fluid attacks and what looks like finishing moves. We also got to see what a resonant is, which basically looks like a boss at the end of an area. I'm hyped for this game and I need the release date ASAP. At number 2 is a game that I heard rumours about recently, but I never expected to see an announcement trailer for it including gameplay. I'm talking about John Wick. Now, I love the franchise and I'm surprised it's taken them so long to make a AAA third person game for it, but what they've shown so far looks great. This is John Wick in his prime, before he settled down and before he came out of retirement because some jackass killed his puppy. The little gameplay that they showed, it basically reminded me of Sifu's combat, but including guns. And I definitely saw him kill a dude with a pencil in the trailer. We don't know when this will be released, but I need this game. And at number 1 is a game that nobody saw coming, and that's Kena Scars of Kosmora. Now, I loved Kena Bridge of Spirits when it released early in the generation, and I've been wanting a sequel ever since. Now, for those of you that never played the first game, you play as a spirit guide that uses magical abilities to help dead people move on from the physical world to the spirit world. The original game looked like a Pixar movie, and everyone was expecting a nice, chilled out game. Then we got to the combat and realized that it was an undercover Souls game. The combat was fun for what it was and the boss fights were challenging. Then the studio went dark and there were rumors that they quit gaming and went back to making videos because this was actually their first game. So when I saw Ember Labs logo appeared on screen, during the state of play, I realized that we were getting a Kena sequel and my hype was on another level. The combat looks smoother and the parrying looks more accurate, which was an issue in the first game. The world looks bigger and she actually has mounts in this one, and it looks like she has some new powers as well, and it looks like there will be some epic boss fights in this one. It's releasing this year. I'm getting it day one. I will 100% be making content for the game, and by the way, I don't know who Sony had to bribe or kidnap to prevent this game from being leaked, but it was definitely worth it. I missed the days before every announcement got leaked on social media. Them keeping this game a secret made the best surprise announcement of the show, and that's why it's got the number 1 slot. So those are my top 10 announcements from the state of play. I did try to keep it to just ones that we either didn't know about or we didn't have much gameplay for, or in Marathon's case, the gameplay has improved the more that I've seen it. So it didn't include games like Saros or 007 or Resident Evil Requiem, which are also day ones, by the way. It was a massive show. Leave a comment underneath to tell me what your favorite announcements from the show were and what score you'd give it out of 10. It was a 10 out of 10 for me. You know, great announcements with most of them released in 2026, and it was well paced. And you know, there were more than 10 games that I saw that I was interested in, but this was just my top 10. If you enjoyed the video, please leave it a like, and if you're new to the channel, hit the subscribe button and check out some other content. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye.